It is the beginning of the year, and I'm going to give you the 4 steps to get your finances back on track. There are so many people setting goals. Hopefully this year, your goals are not like every other year where you set a goal and you didn't actually do it. Every single Sunday for the next 4 weeks, you're going to do one of these things. Each one of these are probably going to take 30 to 60 minutes, but if you do these, you will be set up to get yourself financially in a good spot this year, and 2025 is going to be the year that things change for you. Week number 1 is going to be the hardest, okay? Week number 1, we're gonna have to do a little bit of an audit of our spending and budgets for the last 3 months. So what I want you to do in week 1, you are gonna go back for your last 3 months of bank statements and hit print on the last 3 months. I want physical copies in your hands for the last 3 months of bank statements. You are then gonna print off 3 budgets. A link to a PDF printable budget is down in my description. Go steal it. It's a really, really simple one. I actually think I gave you the Excel and printable inside there. I don't care which one you use, but you're gonna create a budget for the last 3 months. So if this is January when you're watching this, you will print off December, November, and October's bank statements, and then you will create 3 budgets. And you are gonna go line by line of that bank statement and add it into your budget. This is probably actually gonna be easier on Excel if you go line by line like that. But you are not allowed to skip a single expense on there. I don't care if it's a one-off expense or you're never going to buy that again. I just need to figure out where your baseline is and have every expense there. So you're going to go line by line, and as you put it on the budget, you'll cross it off the bank statement. So at the end, you're going to have 3 budgets, one for each of those months, and then look at it and see if your spending is where you are at. You know what? Before you actually do this, write down how much you think you spent on average the last 3 months. I guarantee the vast majority of you are not within 10%. So many of us think we know what we're spending, but we don't actually because of lifestyle creep. So once you do this, this is going to create 3 months historical of your budget. This is going to be your most heavy week, okay? This is probably going to take you the most time. Try to do it in 60 minutes. Might take you a little bit longer, but get your favorite drink, sit down on a Sunday night and just do it, because if you do this, just this one piece of action is going to make the following 3 weeks really, really easy to actually do, and it's going to set you up for the rest of your year. Next is week number 2. You're going to take those 3 historic budgets that you made the week prior. You're going to lay them out and start comparing them. What was your grocery budget in each of those 3 months? What was your eating out budget in every single month? What were your drinks and restaurants and housing and utilities? And go down the list and figure out what each of those months were. Was any month way high or way low, and why? Start to figure out where your money was actually going to figure out where a real baseline is. If you spent groceries, $500, $490, we know what your budget number is going to be, and that's what we're doing in week 2. We are now going to print off one more version of the budget, and this is going to be our ideal budget that we try to live every single month. Once you print that off and once you start looking through it, figure out where your baseline is and where you can start trimming things. This process is going to be really eye-opening. One, you're going to see how much you're spending in different sectors and how low you can get it. If groceries were $500, can we go $450 and just plan a little bit better? If eating out was $600, can you drop it down to $200 and just do once a week? Is there memberships or subscriptions that you don't actually use that you're paying for? Are you paying for random fees you don't even know what they are, and you need to start doing some research? Figure out how much you can trim out of your budget with the goal of this ideal budget following a percentage-based budget. So what that means, 50% of your income should go to needs: food, housing, transportation is a need for most people, especially if you work, stuff like that you have to have. 30% can go to wants. This is eating out and clothes and gifts and stuff that is not necessary but nice. 20% though is your goal to try to save every single month. Not a single one of you are allowed to go comment down here saying, yeah, right, inflation's killing me, I can't save 20%, until you've actually done the exercise. If you've done the exercise, you can't save 20%, reach out. I'd love to walk through this with you. In fact, I talk through budgets often with people, but you need to put forward the work because it's often eye-opening when you actually go through this and start to do it. Once you have this budget, I'm going to start talking about a couple things that I want you to think of. The first thing that we're going to talk about are annual expenses inside your budget. Some of those things that you're saying are one-off expenses that you're not budgeting for because, oh, it was just Christmas and I bought a lot more gifts that month. I spent $1,000 in the month of December and I don't usually spend it. I'm not going to put it on my budget, and that's how I'm going to save money. You're not actually saving money, because come December next year, you're going to do the exact same thing. And so you need to identify what are the annual expenses that are predictable that I know are coming that I can break up over the course of 12 months and save. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple examples. Property taxes are a great one. Christmas is a great one. Birthdays are a great one. Travel's a great one. Car registration. Like, start thinking of all those weird off expenses that happen every 6 months or every 12 months. Break them into smaller payments and just start allocating that every single month. Now, you're not going to pay it in the month of January. So what you're going to do is we're actually going to take that money and go put it in a safe place. That's week number 3, little foreshadowing. But we're going to take that and put it in a safe place. And then when it comes to make it, you've already got the money allocated. You're not dipping into savings. You're not not putting it on a credit card. You're not hosing yourself over like you do every single time with these random expenses because we planned for it in our budget. In the first 2 weeks, you are ahead of probably 80% of Americans. I don't know the stat. I've tried to find it, but I bet you less than 20% of Americans actually live a budget. They say they do, but none of them actually do. So if you've made it for 2 weeks, congrats, you're ahead of almost everyone. And this is going to set the stage for the next 2 weeks, which is where it really gets fun. Week number 3, we're going to automate our savings. So what you're going to do is there's a link down in the bio to a list of high yield savings accounts. My team scours every single month to find the best high yield savings accounts out there. You want to make sure they don't have huge minimum deposits and don't change their fees all the time and all this kind of stuff. It actually takes a little bit of work to figure out what that is. Like SoFi, a really, really popular one, has recently changed a lot. They require direct deposit setup. They require a certain amount of money, all this kind of stuff. You don't want one of those. So click the link down below. You're going to set up a high yield savings account. Inside this high yield savings account, it's going to have 2 things in it. The first one is a survival number. If you're trying to pay off debt, your survival number just needs to be like $500 or $1,000. Okay, just get something in there so when a random expense comes, we don't have to swipe it on the credit card again. The next thing that's going to go into this high yield savings account is you're going to automate this, but all those annual expenses we created last week inside our annual budget need to auto deposit into your high yield savings account every single month, so you don't even have the option to spend it. So if you plan on spending $1,000 for Christmas, you're going to have $83 every month auto deposited into that high yield savings account. So come Christmas, you have the money. Let's say your registration is $400. You're going to auto deposit $25 every single month. Let's say you have a vacation that you have to go to for your best friend's wedding in September. You're going to auto deposit the money every single month to save up for it. And all of those, you're going to add all of them up and create an auto deposit. And it's just going to go into your high yield savings every single month so that you don't have to dip into credit cards and consumer debt again to pay for all those things. We now historically know what we spend. We have a budget and you've set up a high yield savings account. It takes like 10 minutes. Okay. If you are at this point, you have not set up a high yield savings account, shame on you. It's free. It doesn't affect your credit. It keeps up with inflation majority of the time. And it's the best place to store all the money that we're talking about. Like every single one of you, if you take one thing from this video, just go click that link down there, find one you like. I don't care which one it is, and sign up for it, because that alone is going to be the differentiating factor between a lot of you becoming financially secure and not. The reason it's such a strong indicator, it doesn't cost money. It doesn't hurt your credit. It takes 10 minutes to do it. But the difference of someone psychologically that can sit there and actually sign up for it and take action will prove that they're willing to take action on the following steps of what it takes to get financially secure. So sign up for the high yield savings account. Week 4, I'm trying to fly through this as fast as I can, save this video and come back to it every single week so you can watch this. Week 4, we're going to automate our investing. Now that we've actually set this up, we have a budget, we've automated our savings, we're attacking debt, and now we're to the point where we can actually invest, just like week 3, but now we're going to do it with investment accounts. You're going to set up one of the 5 accounts every American should have. If you don't know what those are, click on my channel and go find it. Okay. I think I did like a 30-minute training on the 5 accounts everyone should have. You're going to make sure that you have those 5 accounts and you're utilizing them properly. That 50, 30, 20 budget that we talked about, the 20% should be automated once again. You should allocate some of it to your 401k match, allocate some of it to a cryptocurrency account. Small percentage, but everyone should do cryptocurrency in my opinion, because it has such upside potential. Roth IRAs, HSAs, a brokerage account. I talk through the percentages, how you should use them, the order in which you do it, all that in that video, go watch it, but all those should be automated. If you want to put 1% of your paycheck into crypto every month, just set it up. Coinbase allows you to do it. $50 transfer every month is just coming out. Make it so that it happens automatically as soon as your paycheck's deposited. If you know your paycheck's deposited on the 5th and the 20th, it should auto withdraw on the 6th and the 21st. The purpose of these 4 weeks is not to constrain you so you don't enjoy life, okay? We make money to enjoy life. I don't want you to budget so strict that you can't go to the movies once a month because that's what brings you happiness and joy. But I also don't want you to keep going deeper and deeper in consumer debt. That's why I love the 50, 30, 20 rule, is because it's a percentage-based budget. If you make 5,000 this year and 20,000 next year, it will just scale with you. So hopefully this video was inspiring enough for you to actually take action, because the vast majority of people that are going to watch this are going to do absolutely nothing. If you're one of the ones that actually printed off the bank statements when I told you to, congrats on you. I have so many more videos that we're recording because every one of these steps we can go deeper and deeper. The 5 accounts, how to invest, all this different stuff. So if you want access to that kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment so that as I put videos out there, you're notified, because I have one goal, and that's to break the myth of the broken blueprint. If you believe in the same blueprint that your parents believe to get generational wealth, you will not actually have financial freedom. You need to reset your mind on the way finances work so you can actually get ahead and obtain your financial future that you've been dreaming of. And to do that, it's going to take a little bit of education. So subscribe down below, and I'll see you next week.